Next, we will have the reading of the homage and Tisarana. So in the purple seitan, it should be on page 11 of your purple seitan. And for those at home, I will be bringing it up right now on the screen. Okay. Homages. Hard it is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we are hearing them. If we do not gain emancipation in the present life, we may not be free from sorrow in the ocean of births and deaths. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures. We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. We go to the Sangha for guidance. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent and profound teachings. Now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Next, we will have the sutra chanting. We will be chanting the Sambujo, which you'll find on page 89 of the purple seitan. The Sambujo, followed by the chanting of the Sambutsuge. Now, during the chanting of the Sambutsuge, I will go through on your screen here in the Hondo. You'll see it on the screen, the names of the Shotsuki people that we are remembering. When you see your family name come up, if you could please come up and burn incense in honor and in memory of them, it'd be appreciated. For those at home, if you have an incense burner and you wish to burn incense during the chanting of the Sambutsuge, please do so. And Sambutsuge is on page 73. So 89 and page 73 for those of you who are here. No mandops, no mandops, no mandops, no mandops. This morning, we have gathered here in the quietude of Amida's temple to commemorate the December 2021 Shotsuki monthly memorial service, in which we remember all our loved ones who have passed on to the Pure Land during this month of December. We faithfully recite the Nembutsu and humbly join our hands in Gassho. May the fragrance of incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of the glory of the Dhamma. And may the lights that burn brightly upon the altar lead our thoughts to Amida's eternal light of wisdom and boundless compassion that dispels the darkness of our ignorance. Namandos, namandos, namandos. Namandos. 그제제노 그거가이타이 무묘여근을 세상여무 닌나시시 진나그무려 그근거나이 지혜지며 범여이서 신너다이생 강아사붓 다이쇼 간호셔지 미흑에다 의세조이 가인이셔지 녀세 삼마이 지혜이죠 거세도급은 의여시가 이사이그그 이사나야 대시업은 야그센노그마 무려다이쇼 전여거자 그여이사이 시도셔붓 은여그도 겐쇼흑약 인여거자 쇼붓세가이 무흑하게 무시세즈도 범여시쇼 엔시쇼곡 녀세쇼지 이진난요 료가사붓 고근어다이 거식이며 너저조세 고근여나여 님은 어서 나노아이미 노다의사이 진모라이쇼 신내드저저 이도가곡 게라그안도 보부드시며 내가 시셔 어드가 너희 리기저저역 지모세서 지혜무게 조려시성 지가시 計量しし食毒中画行上人人十Okay. Let's see. How can I do this? You need to be able to do this so that people Oh, hang on a second. Just bear with me a second. Okay. Not very professional of me, like moving around these laptop computers. But, and again, once again, I apologize for technical difficulties. Hopefully we'll get them all ironed out soon. I'd like to begin my talk today by reading a passage from Shinran Shonin. Actually, this actually comes from the larger Shotsuki, I believe it was. Or is it Damida Kyo? Okay, so if I could ask you, please join me in Gassho. I'd like to read a passage from the Seiten. Sentient beings who encounter this light have the three defilements swept away, and they become soft and gentle in body and mind. They dance with joy, and the good mind arises in them. When those suffering the pain and travail in the three evil courses see this light, they all find respite and are freed of afflictions. After their lives have ended, they all gain emancipation. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So this morning, we've gathered here for this December Shotsuki monthly memorial services. And I wanted to just start off by talking a little bit about the importance of remembering. Actually, last month we had Remembrance Day. We had a special Remembrance Day ceremony over at Wisteria as well. But the importance of remembering. And sometimes it's easier to remember things than others. And I wanted to share a couple of incidents with you. One was when, actually they both have to do with traveling. Pre-pandemic, I would say my fair share of traveling, whether it be for different conventions or being invited to different temples. But on one occasion, this was actually when I was still living in Toronto, I happened to be going to Japan, and I believe it was October that I went. And on the way back, I took a direct flight from Narita to Toronto. Has nobody's here, I don't think, ever taken that flight. It's a 13-hour flight. Okay. I find it a lot easier coming from Narita to here because it's about 8.5 or 9 hours, depending on the winds. But to go directly to Toronto, it's a 13-hour flight. So anytime you cross over about 10 hours, your body really begins to feel it. Up until about, coming to Vancouver, you can sort of withstand it, but it's a very long flight. So on our way back from Japan, as sometimes you hear on the flights, there was an announcement. This is just as we were coming, I guess, over the continental USA or the continental North America. So, I guess we must have been with Vancouver Island, somewhere around there. Anyways, announcement came on. And the announcement was, we have a patient that is not, or we have a passenger who is not feeling that well. Are there any doctors on board? And so, I didn't think twice about it. Then a little while later, again, the same message came on the intercom. one of our passengers is not feeling well, so we got thrown on board. And again, no response. And then about 15 minutes later, they said, are there any medical staff, like nurses, on board? And there were 3, I guess, girls from Japan. I noticed them going up to the front. And so then I figured, okay, well, whatever is happening, they're looking at taking care of it. And then about 15 minutes later, I hear, is there a Reverend Grant Kikuta on board? And I'm thinking to myself at this time, the progression, a doctor, a nurse, and now they want a minister. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, is this like something dire is happening? So I go up to the front, and as it turns out, these 3 girls that went up earlier, they were nurses from Japan. But one of the nurses actually had been working in Toronto at a Japanese nursery school. And it just so happened that my wife also was working at that same nursery school at that time. So she recognized me, and they had actually called me up to translate for them. So it wasn't that they wanted last rites or anything like that. I was asked to go up as a translator. So I got up there, and what it was that somebody was having a kidney stone attack. And so it was very, very painful. And on the airplanes, they have these briefcases, and inside the briefcases, there are a number of vials with medications, different medications. But of course, the flight attendants can't give out this medication. And one of the vials had morphine. So the nurses, they were actually connecting to a doctor in Calgary. This is while we're flying over top. And the doctor's instructing them how to give this injection of morphine. And of course, they wanted me to translate for these Japanese nurses. What was interesting though, the attendants looked at them. And you all know how Japanese tend to look younger than North Americans. The attendants were looking at me saying, "Are you sure these are real nurses? They look like junior high school students." But anyways, so they were able to administer the medication, and everything was resolved well. Now, the reason why I tell this story is because it's very easy to remember things when something out of the ordinary happens, right? Something like this, an incident like this. Another incident that happened that I wanted to share with you, and this is something a little bit more, maybe not out of the ordinary, but it is, for me, it was something that was important. And again, this is when I was still in Toronto, and about 6-7 times a year, I used to go to Montreal because there's a temple in Montreal as well. And so we go to the Montreal temple for the service. Usually it's a day trip. But to get there for a 10 o'clock service in Montreal means that I have to be on a 7 or 8 o'clock at the latest, 8 o'clock flight out of Toronto, which means I had to be at the Toronto airport by, or maybe I was actually a 7 o'clock flight that I took. So anyways, I used to have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning whenever I would go to Montreal. So one occasion when I was flying to Montreal, so usually what I do when I'm waking up that early, I would have all my clothes set aside, and then I would sneak out of, try not to wake my wife, as she's still asleep, sneak out of my room with my clothes, get changed, and then go off. So I did that this one particular time, and I get to the airport, and I'm, looking through my stuff, get my passport or boarding pass and whatnot. When suddenly I noticed in my breast pocket of my shirt, there was something lumpy in there. I thought, well, that's strange. And I looked inside, and there was a little plastic car inside my pocket. And apparently, I guess, at that time, my son was still 2 or 3 years old. He must have placed it in there the day before, and I never noticed it. But that little plastic car brought a smile to my face because I could feel my son's, not love, but the fact that, oh, this is a little present from my son. And so for the rest of the day, I was feeling good. So in this case, it wasn't anything out of the extraordinary, but it meant something very personal to me. And again, the reason why I shared this with you is that when we come to the monthly memorial services, it's all about remembering. And it's all about the various incidents that you share with your loved one and how they also continue to share with us. Today, as you gather here, or if you're joined by Zoom, these memories, when you think of that individual, the thoughts that come back to in your mind are the memories that still live with you to this day. And so in the Buddhist terminology, we often talk about life and death, not as two separate words, but they talk about this literally in Japanese, it's life-death. There's a word called shoji. Life and death go hand in hand. But in this case, the death is something that reminds us of our life. The death, passing of our loved ones. Today, again, they bring us back to remember in my life. These were various loved ones that I remember I cherish the memory of. And it's still very much a part of who I am today. And in cherishing these memories, our loved ones are again rejoicing in the fact that we remember them. And I've mentioned this before too, that we often we have these offertories that we give to in the altar. The most traditional one being the rice. And rice is, of course, the staple diet in Japan. And we also have fruits and flowers. All of this is an offering. The incense that we burn is an offering. And in one sense, it's an offering to our loved ones. But the greatest offering that we give is the offering of remembrance. By coming together, remembering these little things that happen in our lives. That's what brings joy to those who have gone before us. And so when we encounter this, not only do we remember the gentle countenance of our loved ones, but we remember the fact that they have given us another opportunity today to think about that, to reflect on my life. So without that remembrance, life itself begins to lose its meaning. Because of our loved ones, we are here today. And so I'd like to ask you again to place your hands together in Gasho as we express again our gratitude to our loved ones. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And now we are going to close the service with the singing of Ondok-san. And let me just bring that up. For those that are at home, I'm going to just bring it up on the screen, on your screen, not on everybody else's. For those that are, who are here today, Ondok-san, you'll find it on page, what page was that, Tim? Do you remember? 327, was it? I could be wrong. 307. 307, thank you. And I'm just going to bring up the words for, okay. So for those of you at home, you should be able to see the words, and those of you here, 307. And if you're able to, please rise for the singing of Ondok-san. This will conclude this morning's Shotsuki monthly memorial service for December 2021. I just noticed right now, in my rush in preparing the altar, etc., I forgot to put away the incense box and the little candle that I used to set up the altar. Again, I had this out working yesterday, last night as a matter of fact, but when I came here this morning, I tried hooking it up. Don't get it doesn't work. For the coming weeks, let's see. Next week is our Bodhi Day service. And then the following week, there is actually not a Sunday service, but we have our year-end cleanup of the temple. So if you're able to and you want to come out and volunteer to help, please come and help us clean the temple. And then after that, we're going into winter break, except for on New Year's Eve, there will be a New Year's Eve bell ringing service, which starts at 11:30, as well as the on 11:30 at night. And then on New Year's Day, it's going to be 10 o'clock, the New Year's Day service. And then the January Shotsuki comes around on the 2nd, so it's a busy time of year, right? Anyways, year end is the year beginning. Thank you all for attending. And if I don't see you before the new year, hope you all have a safe and peaceful holiday season. Thank you all.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh,
Make sure you get the right one.
Thank you, Grant.
Say hi to your family, Jennifer.
Thank you, Grant. Take care, everyone.
Just
Bye.
Good
Thank
job
you,
working through the
Sensei.
technology, Grant.
Yeah.
yeah, it's so technical.
Oh, you're
How do you
doing well.
feel? Was it
It was fine. It was just,
Good.
to hear or
it was okay.
Thank you. Great. Yeah, worked really well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you. I'm still trying to. Oh, Kiko-san. Hello.
Hi. We were able to join you.
Yeah, that's great. No. Barry and Keiko from Toronto, they're friends of mine. And Keith, Keith's on there too. Hi, Keith.
Keith and Maya and Aki too.
Oh, are they on there?
Different places.
Where's, I don't see Aki or Maya.
Aki's, I saw Aki's iPhone earlier. I don't.
Maybe he's.
He is. Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Good. Very good. It was Nana's Junana Kaiki.
Yeah, I was actually gonna talk a little bit about her, but I already did so before, so decided not to. But yes, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Go on.
I look forward to the time you were able to come out here, or.
Yes, I said, you know, Keith and Kathy's on that side, so I said, why not? Oh yeah, Willem and Kathy's here too. I see Willem's picture there, so. we're all here.
Move here.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, I apologize. We're just in the midst of installing a new audio video system, and it's got glitches.
A bumpy
Yeah, I know
road.
somebody who knows about all that, yeah. Keith.
Yeah, Keith, you want to come and help us out?
I could try. Hopefully it wouldn't make it worse.
Well, we actually have we've paid this company to install this system.
Okay.
So I don't want to be relying on my laptop as the main camera. So we actually got 2 new cameras installed and connecting up to those cameras. It's all crazy. And as I said, I had it working yesterday, and then today it's all gone. Yeah.
Technology.
Technology, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I have to go because we have another service coming up, but it's so nice seeing you. And yeah, I do hope we can get together again soon.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
All the best.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.